Did you know that over 70% of data breaches in the last decade could have been prevented by following one simple cybersecurity framework? That framework is the CIA Triad. And no, it's not about spies, it's about protecting the lifeblood of any modern organization, information. Join me as I dive into the CIA Triad and challenge myself to explain its essentials in just a few minutes. You might have heard of the CIA Triad, but do you really understand its significance in cybersecurity? The CIA Triad is a foundational model used by cybersecurity professionals to guide the development of security policies and systems. The CIA, in this case, stands for confidentiality, integrity, and availability, not the Central Intelligence Agency. Think of it as a three-leg stool. If even one leg is weak or missing, the entire structure becomes unstable. That's why every cybersecurity strategy, whether you're protecting a personal blog or a global enterprise, should start with this model. Let's define each of these three components before we break them down further. Confidentiality ensures that sensitive information is only accessible to authorized individuals. Integrity guarantees that the data remains accurate and trustworthy. And availability ensures that systems and data are accessible when needed. These principles aren't just theoretical. They're actively used every day to prevent hackers from accessing bank accounts, manipulating stock prices, or taking down critical infrastructure. The biggest challenge with the CIA Triad? Balance. Maintaining the balance between these three components can be a challenge. Organizations often face the issue of balancing security with usability. Take this common dilemma. If you lock everything down too tightly, like requiring a 20-step authentication process, users will find workarounds, often risky ones. They might write passwords on sticky notes or share login credentials to avoid the hassle. If security measures are too restrictive, users might find ways to bypass them, compromising the security of your system. On the other hand, if security measures are too lax, the system becomes vulnerable to attacks. Another challenge is the constant evolution of threats. Criminals are constantly adapting, finding new ways to exploit weaknesses. As new threats emerge, organizations must adapt their security measures to stay ahead. This can be a daunting task, especially for organizations with limited resources. They must prioritize their security efforts and focus on the most critical areas. Even the best policies can be rendered useless without proper maintenance, patching, and user training. And then there's the cost factor. The cost of implementing security measures can also be a challenge. Organizations must weigh the cost of security measures against the potential cost of a security breach. In some cases, the cost of security measures might be prohibitively expensive. In other cases, the cost of a security breach might be too high to ignore. And the truth is, many small and medium businesses do ignore it until it's too late. Let's dive deeper into each component of the CIA Triad. Confidentiality is critical in protecting sensitive information. For example, in the healthcare industry, patient data must be kept confidential. Under HIPAA, even a minor leak of patient data can lead to serious legal consequences. The consequences of a breach can be severe, including fines and reputational damage. You protect confidentiality through encryption. Data is unreadable without the key, multi-factor authentication, and access control lists, who can access what and when. A good analogy? Think of your data as gold stored in a vault. Confidentiality is the lock, the guards, and the camera protecting it from thieves. Integrity is about keeping your data honest and untampered with. It's like a sealed letter. When you receive it, you trust it hasn't been opened or altered. For instance, in the financial industry, transactions must be accurate and reliable. If transactions are altered or deleted, it can lead to significant financial losses. Imagine if someone altered your bank balance without authorization. It's not just an error, it's a breach of trust. Integrity is protected by using hashing, verifying that data hasn't been changed, digital signatures, and audit logs. If confidentiality keeps hackers out, integrity ensures they didn't change anything if they got in. Availability ensures that information is accessible when needed. For example, in the e-commerce industry, websites must be available to process transactions. If a website is down, it can result in lost sales and revenue. Think of a power grid. Even if it's secure and accurate, it's useless if it's offline. The same goes for data. You might have the best encryption and perfect records, but if your system's down, users suffer. Availability is supported through redundancy, backup systems, load balancing, and denial of service attack mitigation. Without availability, even the most secure system is irrelevant. Let's ground this in reality with a high-profile example. The Equifax breach in 2017 is a prime example of what happens when security measures fail. Equifax suffered a massive breach that exposed the sensitive information of over 147 million people. The root cause? A known vulnerability in Apache Struts that was left unpatched. The consequences of the breach were severe: loss of public trust, congressional hearings, a $700 million settlement, and ongoing lawsuits and costs. That single point of failure impacted all three pillars of the CIA triad. Confidentiality, personal data was exposed. Integrity, once accessed, attackers could manipulate or sell data. Availability, services were interrupted, and public access to credit data was impacted. This breach could have been prevented with proper patch management and a strong CIA triad strategy. So let's recap. The CIA triad, confidentiality, integrity, and availability, is not just a cybersecurity buzzword. It's a living framework, the DNA of every successful security strategy. Confidentiality keeps the wrong eyes out. Integrity ensures that the data is real and untampered, and availability guarantees users get access when they need it. If even one of these elements fail, the entire system is at risk. By understanding the CIA triad, organizations can develop a holistic approach to security. This approach ensures that sensitive information is protected from unauthorized access, use, disclosure, modification, or destruction. It's not about choosing one over the other. It's about balancing all three to maintain security without compromising usability. If this video helped clarify the CIA triad for you, drop a comment below. Let me know which component you think is the hardest to maintain. And don't forget to check out my next video and some of my other videos on cybersecurity. Until next time, stay safe, stay secure, and be a cyber hero. I'll see you in the next video.